Alrighty, cool here, and today I'm doing something a little different. You can see I got a train, little train running around there. So today, I am in 1.12.2 creative mode, as you can see. And I have, I'm working on a bit of a rail system. So if I, oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, I do this, but so I'm working on a rail system. It's up to full power. Yeah, I was wrong. Ah, come on. I need this. There we go. Go through here. So I'm gonna just take you down here a bit. So hold on, let me just one. Alright, good, I can stop this on a dime. But I've been working on a bit of a rail system. I don't have much on it yet, but so I'm gonna be working on this to kind of demo this world and how to set up an automated rail system. Of course, the part where this mod is currently, I have other mods installed, by the way. So where this mod is currently, there is some stuff missing. Like electric tracks don't power completely correctly, which means you can't do anything with it. But here we're at one end here. I'll be showing in my next video, I'll be showing you how this works, but first, bop, bop. I'm gonna head back in town. So hold on. Okay, so it's just something for my start running. Interlocked, not set up correctly. First things first, shut you down. Redstone aspect. Alright, so I messed that up really well. Alright, we'll come back to this in our next episode of Railcraft, a how-to series. But instead, you'll just see it coming along here, passing these signals. So I get mainly the big portion of how I do this is I learned this back in 1.7.10 Railcraft, which I feel is actually it's way better. It's a lot more polished. So I prefer that better. But modern versions have more stuff. I do this, but. Like, I'll teach you how to do how to build a station, which I learned from someone else's video a long time ago. How to do something like that, and how to make an intersection. Like, when I come around, I'm gonna have to stop that. So you see this? This is something I have it, so while that one's inside this area, I cannot go. I should have put a anchor cart on the back of that, and it didn't. Alright, well, this is broken. But that's because I completely forgot about that there. Alright, well, this thing went the right way, and did everything correct, but yeah, but I'm going to show you next episode how to do, I think we'll do the station first. How to set up, and I'll set up the other half of this station. This station's doing nice and well. But for this episode, I'm going to show you basics. I didn't have a plan for this episode. So I'll show you the controller, I'll show you the receiver. And I'll show you controller, I'll show you receiver. The relay box, I'll show you this as well. And we'll take an interlock box. That's all I really use. A relay box, signal block relay box, to be straight, to just tell you straightly, is literally just a signal in box, just a block signal in box form. So if I put this here, actually no, I'll put that. Jeez. It's a signal in box form. So you can literally, but the reason you would use it most often is to literally to bend a surveyor. So what you have to do is you have to take a surveyor and you can take two signals that survey a section of track. That is the wrong thing. That was a block signal. Yeah, come on. This is a block signal. Start surveying. Begin surveying and stop surveying. Alright, perfect. So we go. There we go. Set that back. So do that. Surveys a section of track. And when there's a minecart in this track, lights will turn either red or yellow if it's going away from it. So what you want to do then is, so then if you want to go around a corner, you'd use this. So literally you just go bop, bop, bop. And that thing has two connection points. And it literally doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything, it's just it's like another node, but it's useful for rounding corners. Now, if we do this, controller and receiver and relay box, or no relay box, we want to do interlock box, but let's start with controller and receiver. First of all, controllers pair to receivers and signal boxes count as receivers. Receivers can emit a redstone signal. And controllers take it in. Let's play this. We'll take it in signal. They're fairly straightforward. These are just straightforward blocks. So then you can also change that and a controller can change what happens when it turns. So that you can set it so it's either default red, and if it gets red, then it turns green, like this. Or anywhere within this spectrum. But if we do this, you can also do this. Put a receiver next to controller, at which point the receiver will control what the controller does. If you do have redstone hooked up to a controller though, and it's default set to red, it'll take both the input of the receiver and the controller. So actually, if I go for get a better output, distance signals are literally just they just receive, are tuned. In other words, if I were to do, see, so it's red. I put a minecart in the area, it's still red. If I were to turn this on, it's still red. So that's how that works. Interlock boxes. So you can only connect these things each other, one on each side. and they don't, because receivers don't connect to receivers, controllers don't connect to controllers. They have to go through a receiver or controller and receivers and controllers. Then you go for an interlock box. You're gonna have an infinite chain of interlock boxes. They connect up to one another. Typically, you'll have like minimum of 2. Put 3 in here. Receivers can also connect to them, and receivers will control them. So some of them, like if you're just doing redstone with receivers and controllers, you can decide what means what with those. But for these, it is very dependent on what it receives in. So we're gonna just do one receiver for now. Tune that to there. Controller. Down 3 controllers. Put down levers for them all. Put that in there. And then you take a distance signal for an output. So if you wire them up, they have an input and an output. Clicked on second, they're an output. Clicked on first, clicked on second, it's an input. First, it's an output. All right. So then I'm gonna set these. Whenever you're doing this, you're always gonna want this like this. Is usually what you're gonna have to do, because these are very particular. So while that light is green right there, if I swap this, that turns green. That one will turn green, and that one will turn green. But if I do that one and then this one, that one doesn't turn green. If I also had this one, it doesn't turn green either. But if I pop this off, it goes on the line. I think I might store who entered first. I'm not sure. No, it has a hierarchy, which you can figure out for yourself. But if I do something like this, so now these all off. If I put a micer into this, turning that signal to red, so now this receiver is red. So now if I try to turn this on, it won't go green. This won't go green. This won't go green. So even if you try to go bop, on, none of them will turn green, because the receiver is completely controlling the whole system to say, stop, don't do anything, you're not allowed. But as soon as that clears, if you have that there, but as soon as it clears, it'll turn right to green within the hierarchy. So that's pretty much all you need to know for this episode of Railcraft, the how-to series. Next episode, we will learn how to set up a state, how to do the let's show you how to do this. This will come back to later. By the way, this is literally supposed to be my central monitoring station. Central, so you can monitor all the trains from here. I'll show you how to set up a block here. Let's go. Alright, so let's get out there. Let's get out to the other end. So you see, as I go through these boxes will turn. I'll shut this down. Will turn from yellow to red, all that. So while there's a section in the block that'll turn red, that'll turn off in a minute. So, alright, yeah, because it's just the way it's set. So now, this minecart's coming along, it tries to enter that block, it'll stop. And it won't go until this has exited that block, and then it'll launch. So it's how you set these up is absolutely easy as heck. Easy as heck because it's not complicated at all. We'll go down this slope here. To the next block section that is not set up. It should be. No, it won't be. So I don't have that on there. But if I go just for now, take this, put this here. Block signals. So bop, bop, and bop, and bop. What you need is you need a receiver and, well, if you want to, the way you do it properly is you'll need two signals, two different separate block signals, a receiver, some track, and a locking track kit. So what you do is set up the signals like this, so one on top of the other, one facing one. They don't have to be, but I usually do this so that this one is the block it's coming from, this one's the block you're going into. So you can just see yourself. This will automate the system. So what you do is you do this at both ends of this, however long you want the block. However long you want the block. You start one and you survey it, so you see this block you're in, block you're going to. So what you do is then, I'll stay over here. Yeah, put a receiver and a locking track, and you get these. Set it into train boarding mode. I usually put it in a train boarding mode because that's the best way. Because that'll lock it. It knows it's a whole length of a train, so it will be on for more than just one car going through. So then what you do is you take the tuner to the block signal, click on the block signal, then you click on the receiver. That turns the receiver on. You don't need to configure anything else. And then any cart that comes through, we'll use it. We'll pass right on by. Of course, as it's in train mode, it'll be a bit before that turns off, but the red light will turn to yellow, then to red. Even if it's on yellow, it won't quite activate this because this is only activated when it's green. And after that, other than that, I think that'll be all for this episode. If you want to see, you got an interlock box right here. I don't have it, but I most use interlocking boxes for intersections, but those are really complicated. We'll get to those in another episode. But thank you all for watching. This has been Jared Cool's Railcraft, a how-to series, episode 1. Thank y'all for watching, and have a great day.